Hi, Kaz. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Kaz, you know what?
Hmm.
I've been with you since a year now.
Yeah.
So I really love the way, and I wonder, can you just give me some idea? I wonder the way you stay alone and at the same time you carry your life so beautifully. I admire your way of being independent and strong and joyful at the same time. Just help me, how is it, what is it that makes you live so beautifully alone?
Yeah. Um, I guess it's come through life practice. There was a time where I was in a very uh, messed up myself because I had low self-esteem, and all the traumas that I carried as a child were the ones kind of stopping me from being myself. So I went to a course in Thailand for 5 days, and this is the only course I did.
Okay.
After that, I learned to understand. Once I took one thing I took away from that course was take ownership of everything in my life. So whether good, bad, anything, take ownership of it. So me being in an abusive relationship, me being disabled, it all has three sides to it. So one side is always where you see the external by pointing the fingers. You abused me, you did this to me, you did that to me. But I can't change that person. That person is the way they are. So all I can do is change myself. And when I took the ownership of what I was to learn from these experiences, for instance, being in abusive relationships, I went from one to another into abusive relationship. And the reason for that is because I was holding on to certain things said by people about my character, my appearance, thinking that I wasn't good enough, thinking that I didn't deserve any better. So when I saw relationships that were happy and loving, it felt like it wasn't for me because from childhood, things are said not because people meant to say it, but it's because the culture allows that sort of saying. It's said in a joke or in a way to make you feel lower. You know. So mine was basically where my color was affected. Because of my color being Indian, it was that how can I put it? I felt I wasn't good enough. You know, loving relationships are only for people who are beautiful, and I wasn't. You know, because that was what was said, and there came a time where I thought, how can I not be beautiful? God has made each of us in the way that we are meant to be.
But it is the soul that is, more beautiful than what a face is.
In That's absolutely right. But when you're so far away from your soul, you don't see your soul. Your soul is not going to shine from your body either because you've covered up with all these masks. Yeah, we've done it ourselves. We've done it ourselves because we've taken in the words of others. When they are only giving us their insecurities, you see, because another person will only give their view because they feel that, oh, there was such and such his daughter, they found it very hard to find a guy for him because she's dark, you see. So this goes on in the culture, and the culture does not realize how much damage they do to a child when they're growing up. So all the way in my life, I felt that I was not good enough. And I guess this course made me think in a different way. I started seeing things in the good and the bad and the middle. So there's a polarity of every situation in life. Um, so one is basically, yes, I felt I didn't feel good enough because people told me. That's the external. Now my internal is basically, what am I meant to learn from it? Do I feel that I'm not good enough? Do I feel that my color is too dark? No. So when I took acceptance of that, I came in the middle. And I was able to forgive the people who had said these things because they only said it because I seem to be using the word because quite a lot, sorry.
No, that's fine.
Only reason is they are brought up in that culture and they don't know any better. So they continue with that same downfall in a person. So it's for us to decide, am I going to let their words rule my life? Because everyone is going to give their experience. So even when you go down the road, people are going to say, oh, if you do this, you're going to get run over. Yes, but this happens, sadly, but you're not going to stop your living your life. Exactly. You'll be a bit more careful, but also more alert, but allowing someone's words to stop us living from the life that we are to live is bonkers. Yeah. So it's finding that middle ground in every situation, turning the dark into light. And also I always suggest that don't send bad vibes to the people who have given us these.
Because they have taught us what we are today. They
Absolutely.
made us what we are today. So like that proverb, that quote goes, when people throw stones at you, instead of throwing back, you pick them up and make a
You make them your stepping stones.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're your stepping stones to make you stronger. But if you let those words hit you, then you'll be down. But use them as stepping stones to say, yes, your words, thank you, but I am who I am. As long as, never stop questioning ourselves as well, because then you can become egoistic.
Yes.
So always be mindful that what they're saying, is there any truth to it? Is there something that I need to do that I'm hurting people? If you're hurting people by the way that you choose to live your life, then that's their own pain, because they're programmed in such a way that someone's life should be such and such way. Whereas everyone's life should be in the way that they want it. Otherwise, I feel, if everyone was going the same way, this world would be so boring.
That's why we've given the challenges.
Yeah, we're given challenges and what we make of it.
Because that makes us alive. Having challenges makes us alive.
It keeps us on our toes and not get complacent with life, in the sense that, oh, this is how I live and that's it. But someone says, Kaz, you didn't even say hi to me, for instance. Then that's for me to question, to say, excuse me, at least acknowledge people.
Yes.
So that's where you would see your own wrong and put it right. So never be in a way that you are above anyone or below anyone. We are all at a level where we are, because there are some that are teaching others. So for instance, when I see beggars here, when I see them, I see God in them. I see God in all of them, because they are there to teach us that this world has fallen so low that they do not acknowledge people who are hungry. Yes, there is always those excuses. I say excuses, and there might be some realities in it. I don't deny that. That these people don't want to work, so that's their life. But how long can we keep saying that? We've got to a stage of seeing things in such a way that we've forgotten that there are really some people out there that are dying hungry. In this day and age, to hear about people dying hungry is heartbreaking. And yes, they signed up for that life. I always say that before we are born, we sign up for what life we're going to live. So they signed up for it, but are we acknowledging the life they signed up for was to teach us something in a bigger picture, or are we just going to see, oh, he died? You see? So there's depths of everything, but we have got accustomed to just seeing for, oh, they died. Okay, I understand life, death is not death, because death is just moving from one dimension to another, But at least if we change our world to the better in order to make sure that these people are not relying on our charity. I know these charities, and it's great that people are helping. I'll make another video on charity. Because there's good and bad in that as well.
Yeah, I would like to know about
There's good and bad in every single thing. Even when you give money or when you give food to a beggar, there's good and bad in that. I'll explain that in another video, but does this answer your question?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Thank you, guys. It was great knowing about you.
Thank you.
Wish to know more about you very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.